great players. They have a great organization. And you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raiders related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. The Las Vegas Raiders have continued to add pieces to the secondary group, and we signed another young cornerback to this roster. The Raiders have signed cornerback Duke Shelly from the Minnesota Vikings, essentially another depth piece on this defense. But this could very well be a very solid under the radar type of move for this defense. Now look, I definitely haven't had the chance to look at his tape, but it seems like he could be a solid corner for us. And this type of signing just kind of goes along with the type of moves this front office has made in this free agency period. He's a young player. He's also a very versatile player in the fact that he can also play on the outside and in the slot position. So look, technically now the Raiders have three cornerbacks in Nate Hobbs, Duke Shelly, and David Long, who can play on the inside and the outside cornerback if needed. So look, this just seems to go along with what Patrick Graham has envisioned for this defense, what he wants. He wants players who are not one-dimensional, and this essentially can provide flexibility in the type of coverages he can run with this type of personnel. Now look, although this is all fine and dandy in theory, I will say I hope the Raiders also just play the players on our roster to their best natural position and essentially just put them in the best position to succeed. And look, I'm specifically just referring to our cornerback Nate Hobbs. Look, Nate Hobbs in his rookie season was very good playing as our starting slot cornerback. And look, I was not a fan of us trying to convert him to an outside cornerback last season. He didn't look great to me. He was just much more dominant being a slot cornerback. So look, I just hope the Raiders can put him back at the slot position. And sure, whenever needed, he can go to the outside, but primarily I want him in the slot. So look, this year will definitely be a huge year for our cornerback Nate Hobbs, coming off of a down year compared to his rookie season. And you know, last year he did miss some time due to injuries that definitely affected him this season. But look, in year 3 of his career, this is where he needs to show up once again. He needs to show us that he's the same guy we saw in the first year of his career, that lockdown cornerback at the slot position. But the Raiders will also need to find a future lockdown #1 shutdown cornerback on the outside, which we don't have at this point in time. And I definitely expect us to draft at least one, possibly multiple different cornerbacks in this year's draft. But look, also a huge issue with this defense at the current moment is we do need to build our defensive lineup, because if we have a weak front seven, then the back end of our defense is going to look bad as well. The Las Vegas Raiders already have a cornerstone franchise defensive end in Mad Max Crosby, but look, in my opinion, we also need at least 2 more difference makers on this defensive line. First, I think we need a dominant defensive tackle. That's just been a huge need for this team for quite some time. We need a defensive tackle too that can also create some pressure up the middle, get to the quarterback. So look, if defensive tackle Jalen Carter is still available for the Raiders at pick #7, look, I would love for us to pull the trigger on him, because he's a one-of-a-kind talent. And this really, the defensive tackle position has been a huge position of need for the Raiders for years now, and we never have truly addressed it. As long as he's not found guilty for that whole, situation with the DUI, as long as we're good on that, I would definitely be happy with us drafting Jalen Carter. And there may be a good chance that he will be available at #7. It seems like his stock has fallen just a little bit with that whole DUI incident, and with him coming in 10 pounds overweight to his pro day. So we'll just have to see on that. But lastly too, on this defensive line, I think we also need to add another defensive end on the opposite side of Max Crosby, who can take the vast majority of the snaps and who can also be effective creating pressure on the quarterback. Look, I think Chandler Jones, look, he's still a great player. He can still be effective for us, but he's just not the same dominant all-pro player he once was. But I really feel like if you can limit his snap count, use him in a more situational role, and essentially just keep him fresh throughout the game, I think he could still be very effective for us. And look, the Raiders could also draft a defensive end at some point in this draft. We have like 12 draft picks, so that's definitely a possibility. But who knows, maybe we have already signed this type of player in Jordan Willis. Look, Jordan Willis, he could be a sleeper signing for us. Look, he's still young. He was playing with the San Francisco 49ers, who had an absolute dominant defensive line. So look, maybe here in Las Vegas, this could be his chance to showcase that he can be a good number 2 pass rusher on a team. And you know, I hope that happens. I hope we can fix the defensive line, because until the Raiders fix this D-line, we will continue to have a mediocre defense, in my opinion. Because look, once we get a good defensive line, I think the transformation of this defense will be drastic. But Raider Nation, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think of the signing of Duke Shelly to this roster? Let me know down below. With that being said, Raider Nation, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raiders related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.